for those people out there that are wondering, Lance Guidry will turn 52 years old this year, and Charlie Strong will turn 63. So if you buy into that, that's the difference.
Well, I guess what Palm Beach Kane is trying to say, because he says, isn't Coach Guidry 51 years old? Yes. 51 is not 33. 33 isn't 26. But I would like to see and say to that is he's 51. He's worked at a lot of lower level ball, which means what, Mark? He ain't got some 6'3" Sauce Gardner running a 4-2 out there at corner. He's had some 5'8" guys. He's had some slow 6-footers. He's had a 5'10" defensive tackle that he had to coach up and really put in position to make plays. At the FCS level, at the Group of 5 level, and in levels under that, you really have to coach. You really have to teach. There used to be a lot of non-recruitment going on in high school football, Mark. You remember this because it was even probably 20 years ago. But for you, decades ago, when you played high school ball, right? And you had those coaches were so respected, even more than some college coaches, Mark. For generations, high school coaches were widely respected because they had to coach whomever walked through that door. Sometimes they were blessed to have a 6'3", 260-pound young man that he could turn into his left tackle. Back 6'3" was like left tackle in like 80s, 90s guys. Mark, tell me if I'm wrong now. There's some 6'4", 280-pound starting tackles that played at that time. It's how it was.
No absolutely.
You didn't have Evan Neal's 6'7", 383 pounds with sweet feet. Okay, you didn't see that back then, and those coaches had to coach him up. You had a 5'6" center sometimes, but he was feisty and he knew the technique, and he's a senior. But these are things as far as those coaches had to coach whomever, and this is where I think Coach Guidry comes from. He comes from a viewpoint of really coaching and teaching the craft and from a younger vantage point and maybe making the game, Mark, simple. Okay? Because he may not get too complex so that everybody could be on the same page. So that's where I am with it when it comes to Coach Guidry, man. I like the hire, Mark, mainly because it's not some big name dude. We tried that last year, and it didn't work out. So how about let's get a guy that can come in. And another thing, Mark, his specialty is defensive back. And defensive back is the way in today's game, man. You got to be able to speak secondary. It's the new primary now. It used to be in the front seven where it was defensive end, defensive tackle, linebacker. Now it's more like edge rusher and secondary. That's where some of the best places are.